live on YouTube? Okay. Well, I'm just doing the opening screen, but we are live.
We were at, that was a Christmas shoot, because we did, like, we went to the studio, recorded stuff, and
So
then.
once we're live, then I can
Special,
switch
so to be
us
a live
over.
crowd.
I shouldn't have.
So I go towards
Hi, I'm Diane Conroy Lasavita, Executive Director of Colony Senior Service Centers.
And I'm Craig Adams from CBS 6 TV.
And we are so happy you're joining us this evening for the 2022 Warmth of Winter. As most of you know, the event really, the proceeds of this event benefit all the seniors in our community who are struggling to pay their heating bills or worrying about their maintenance costs of their heating systems. So we're thrilled you're with us today.
And this year it goes to nobody's surprise that those fuel bills are much higher than they've been in a lot of years.
Yeah.
So it really is helpful this year to be able to do this event again and for all of you participating. So thank you for joining us. And a reminder that this evening's auction will close at 9 o'clock, and you can visit the auction by going to www.32auctions.com. Wow 2022. And the centerfold of your program has all the various packages listed. So just open up the program and you can check it all out. All right, so what's our next stage here?
So I wanted to be, if you don't mind, can I introduce one of those packages?
I would love to see
first,
that.
I do also want to say is that Craig has been involved with WOW way back when, correct? I didn't know that.
When
until
my first year here, I came here back 8 years ago.
Mhm.
And so the first one I participated in would have been back in 2014.
Very cool. Well, welcome back.
It's always
This is
good to
wonderful.
be
We're
here,
so
for
thrilled to
sure.
be doing this together. So I just want to introduce one of those auction items. And so if you don't mind, Elizabeth's she's gonna be our Vanna White tonight. So this is an auction item that was donated by Chris and Foley Brothers Plumbing and Heating. And this is really a cool package for somebody who loves to barbecue. So besides this toolbox of bright red, right, customary for Chris and Foley Brothers, it's filled with a whole bunch of barbecue utensils. There's a tablecloth in here and a lot of Chris and Foley bling. In addition, there's a $100 gift certificate to Omaha Steaks and a $50 gift certificate to Price Chopper. So you can go, you can use your gift certificates, you can set up your barbecue. It's there for the taking. So again, as Craig had said, www.32auctions.com/wow 2022.
And it won't be long before the weather's warm enough to be able to do this type of stuff again.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty though?
All right, let's hear from the leadership behind this evening's event.
Hi, I'm Christina Meyer, President of the Board for Colony Senior Service Centers, and I want to welcome you to this evening's virtual Warmth of Wine event, otherwise known as WOW. This event truly helps seniors keep the heat on. Your support for this evening's event is so truly appreciated. The proceeds of WOW go to assist seniors with their heating bill, as well as aid in the cost of heating system maintenance. Since the onset of this event over 20 years ago, Colony Seniors has helped thousands of needy seniors. Under the leadership of Andrea Crisafulli and her committee, comprised of Jill August, Alicia Kelly, Blanchard Kenny, George Mahoney, Nancy O'Connor, as well as myself, we have worked very hard to create an exciting evening that will keep the heat on for seniors. I also want to take a moment to thank all of our tremendous sponsors, which includes Crisafulli Brothers, Twin Bridges Waste and Recycling, Cary Electric, KeyBank, Meyer Law Firm, Equinox Companies, Haler, Fryer & Kuhn, Boucher & Clark Benefits Inc., Capcom, Teal Becker Charmante CPA, Capital Bank, Lennox Industries, Gallagher, Colony Mechanical Contractors Inc., Fenimore Asset Management, BBL, O'Connor Hazelton Group, Merrill Lynch Wealth Management, Pioneer Bank Foundation, CA Group, Godfrey Financial Associates Inc., Leverix Technologies, CHA Group, Capital Safety Services, N&S Supply, Hoffman Car Wash, FW Web, WCGS Architects, RF Peck, MVP, Skyview Landscapes Inc., CBRE, Haas Family Advisors, Broadway Auto Clinic, Direct Advisors, Sage Financial Associates, and last but not least, Family Dance Mechanical, LLC. Thank you to everyone who joined the honorary committee, donated auction items, purchased tickets to this event, and donated. Your support is so appreciated. Thank you to our media sponsors, WRGB, Channel 6, and B95.5. And finally, thank you to Capital District Digital for assisting with the production of this evening's virtual event. So on with the show, and let's hear from Warmth of Winter Chair Andrea Crisafulli.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Andrea Crisafulli, president of Crisafulli Brothers Plumbing and Heating, and the committee chair of this year's Warmth of Winter event. I've chaired this event for 4 years now because I recognize its incredible importance of helping the seniors in our community with their heating bills and the cost of their heating maintenance. Last year's proceeds alone enabled over 150 households right here in our community to be helped. So just wanted to give you an idea of why this event is so important. And now I really want to thank our sponsors and our supporters. We could not possibly do this event without you, and we just thank you so much for being here with us tonight. While this year's Warmth of Winter is once again being held virtually, it's important because everyone is able to be home and in the comfort and safety and warmth of their own home and have a front row seat to all the festivities that are about to begin. Attendees this evening were given an event tote that was filled with delicious food made by Mazzone Hospitality and accompanied by some fabulous wines. And we've placed an additional bag in your tote this year with some wonderful local products as an extra thank you for all of your support. Please don't forget our online auction, which will close at 9 p.m. this evening. There are many wonderful packages, and I've already previewed them and excited to get back online and look again. So it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy Colony Senior Service Center's 2022 Warmth of Winter event. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina and Andrea. You know, we are so fortunate to have such incredible leadership guiding us through this Warmth of Winter.
Absolutely. You know, Colony Senior Service Center in Colony has been doing this now for 40 years. And throughout the pandemic, CSSC was there for the community. So far, we're very fortunate to have so many community partners for WOW and throughout the year who assist CSSC with supporting seniors from congregate meals and transportation to social adult daycare and home maintenance. We could not do that without you.
I want to talk about a particular partnership we have, a tremendous supporter, and that's actually the town of Colony. The town has been just so incredibly supportive monetarily and just assisting us in all sorts of ways. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to hear from Peter Crummy, newly elected town supervisor for the town of Colony.
Hello and good evening. I'm Colony Town Supervisor Peter Crummy, and welcome to the Warmth of Winter event. As many of us know, this event has been truly successful for nearly 20 years in our town of Colony to assist qualified seniors in paying their heating bills and also paying bills associated with maintaining their heating systems. I am so pleased to once again participate as an honorary committee member of this event, and I look forward to this evening's activities, and I hope that you'll enjoy them with me. Thank you for supporting this event, and it's certainly my pleasure to once again partner with the Colony Senior Service Centers as well. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Isn't he just a gem? We're so happy that he supports us the way he does. I also want to mention about Peter Crummy. He's an honorary director on our board of directors. So thank you for doing that as well.
All right, time for some of the fun stuff now. Plating the food. Time to eat. All right, this evening, we've got Elizabeth kind of showing off here. Why don't you hold this up here, Elizabeth, so people can get a good view of it here. This is your first course, which is butternut squash risotto with toasted walnuts on a Assaggio cheese crostini. And you've received a cloth tote, just like this one here. Got to get this to show you too, which contain your 4-course dinner, the wine, and an extra special bag of New York State products. And as we just showed you the beginning of the meal here, this nice little, should we say, free main dish here. we're going to be looking at what the chef has to show now, don't
Yeah.
we?
So we were lucky. We actually filmed Chef Braden Benison making this particular appetizer for us. So, Chef Braden, take it away.
Hi, welcome one and all. I'm Chef Braden Benison, and I'm here to show you how to make the butternut squash risotto crostini that's in your bag. And I hope you all enjoy your meal so much tonight. So you can see I have some things spread out on the table here. I have some heavy cream in the pot going so we can do the finishing steps. But first let me explain to you what risotto is. Risotto is started as arborio rice. It's a short grain rice and one of the only rices that you're going to stir when you cook it. This is cooked in 3 stages as well. First we start by sweating garlic and onion in a pan, and then we add our short grain rice and we let that go until it just slightly starts to toast the grains of the rice. And then we're going to add our first part of white wine and let that go until it's reduced out, and we're going to add our second part of vegetable stock, and that's going to bring it to this part right here, our risotto, and we're going to add our third part right now, finish it, to put it on the crostini. So this is the third part of heavy cream, and we're going to put that right in there and break it down in there, and the cream, along with mixing it around in there, is going to create the creamy texture that you all have. And as that cooks and comes to a simmer and starts to cream out, we're going to add the Parmesan cheese and the roasted butternut squash. It's important with risotto that you're always, stirring it and keeping those grains rich and creamy. Otherwise, it'll bind up and it'll become more gummy than creamy. So over here, we have our crostini. A crostini is a sliced piece of bread, baguette generally, seasoned with a little bit of olive oil, salt, toasted in the oven to a nice crispy texture. We'll put that down as our base. You see this all is coming very, very creamy now. Over here, I also have some fresh thyme and sage, fried sage for a garnish on top. It also opens up as a very good aromatic. You see that's coming together really well now. Thicken it up a little bit. The cheese, a little bit of cheese in there is going to help it thicken just a little bit more. You don't want it too thick, but you want it thick enough so that when you put it on your crostini, it'll stay on top. We'll put all that butternut squash right in there too. Oh yeah. That's it right there. See that you can get it all mixed and incorporated in there. We're getting just about there. Yeah. Good and creamy. There we go. All right. So now we have our crostini as our base. We're going to take that risotto. We're going to put it right on top. Oh yeah. There we go. And we're going to take a nice leaf of fried sage, across the top, and a couple sprigs of fresh thyme. And there you have it. I hope you all enjoy and use this recipe on your own as well. Have a great night.
Thank you, Braden. Doesn't that look delicious? I assume you probably by now have all eaten it or in the process of eating it. Your entree this evening is coq au vin. I'm going to ask Elizabeth to bring the plate out. Isn't that beautifully presented? A nice job plating that. Thank you so much. And the entree was actually made by our very own chef, Blanchard Kenny from His Own Hospitality. So we asked Blanchard to do a quick demo to show us how he made that beautiful dish. Take it away, Blanchard.
Hello everyone, my name is Blanchard Kenny with Mazzone Hospitality, and I want to welcome you to the Warmth of Winter virtual dinner. And I'm going to be showing you our entree tonight, which is a kind of a reimagined version of coq au vin. Okay, coq au vin is a dish that has its roots that go back to Julius Caesar and the Gauls, but the first written records of the recipe for coq au vin go back to the early parts of the 1900s. Origins are a little bit unclear, but it looks to me, or from what I've read, right around the Burgundy region of France is where it first started. But there are many, many versions using the wines that come from that region. For instance, in Champagne, they use Champagne. In Bordeaux, they use Merlot, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do here, we're starting with some olive oil in the pan, getting that hot, and we're going to brown up our chicken a little bit. There we go. That's what I was looking for. A little noise. Okay. Season with a little more salt and pepper. Just a touch. Doesn't need much. There's all kinds of flavor going on in this dish. Okay. We're also going to throw in now some chopped onion, some leeks, some bacon, and some garlic. Season around, let them sweat a little bit. Give that another second or two to brown up a little bit. Next thing going in is some sliced mushrooms. You can use any type of mushroom that you like. These are just white mushrooms, but you could use cremini mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, and so forth, whatever your personal preference would be. Okay, there we go. We got some nice color on that chicken now. You can see the golden brown. A little bit more olive oil there. Okay. The vegetables all cooked down a little bit. They're going to render. And the mushrooms will render some liquid as well as they cook down. Going to do kind of a speed up version of this. Okay. Next thing going in is a little bit of white wine. As I said before, it's traditionally made with a red wine, but the version we're doing is a white wine version, which I think you'll very much enjoy, especially if you have it with a nice Chablis or a California buttery Chardonnay would also go really well with it. Okay, that's simmering. We're also going to add some chicken stock. We're going to finish the flavoring with a bay leaf, some thyme, some fresh tarragon, and we're going to let that simmer away. Oh, I'm sorry. And also just a touch of Dijon mustard. And we're going to give it a little bit of texture using a cornstarch slurry, which is simply a mixture of cold water and cornstarch. Okay. You could also, the classic way to do it is with a roux. We tend to use cornstarch more here because we want to keep things gluten-free whenever possible. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of that to the liquid. Let it all come together. Best way to finish this now will be to take it and put it in an oven with the cover and let it slowly braise in the liquid until the chicken is done. Would take about 45 minutes to an hour. I have a speeded up version here, magic of television version that we're going to do. This is pretty much what it's going to look like when it comes out of the oven. Okay, you can see all those flavors and everything have matured. We've got some caramelization going on here, giving it this nice color. Okay, and of course the chicken is nice and brown as well. All right, to finish the dish now, we're going to take some potato puree. Going to set the chicken breast, and we're using a French chicken breast, which simply means that it's boneless except for one bone. The drumette bone is the only bone in there, so it's very easy to eat. I'll put the sauce right over the chicken. And we're going to accompany that with some fresh green beans. And we're going to garnish with a little bit of fresh tarragon to finish. And we have a rustic country fresh classic coq au vin.
Thank you, Chef Blanchard.
All right, just another reminder, this evening's auction is going to close at 9 o'clock. And you can visit the auction by going to www.32auctions.com/wow 2022. All right, we've got another package to show you. Elizabeth, send me that basketball over here. And even if you're not a pro basketball player, I think you could have a lot of fun with this. This is entitled For the Sporting Family, okay? And it was donated by William Ward. This is a great package for the family that loves sports. You're gonna be able to set up your new Spalding 54-inch portable basketball hoop in the driveway and start shooting hoops. I've been teaching Elizabeth here while we're here. Give me another pass, Elizabeth. Oh, good. Earlier, that pass was like going here and there and everywhere, but it's done much better. And you can start shooting hoops in your driveway with this brand new basketball. That's all part of it. And then after the ball game, you like lacrosse? Well, you can head off to the MVP Arena to watch the Albany Firewolves Lacrosse Club on Saturday, March 19th for a 7 o'clock game. They're taking on the Georgia Swarm, and you can cheer on the Capital Region's new lacrosse team from your premium VIP box seats.
Wow. You're going to throw it back? You think she's
I
ready to
think
dribble it?
Elizabeth is it.
She's doing really
Oh, she caught it. We're doing great.
So, tonight wouldn't be possible without all of our sponsors. I can't say enough about all the wonderful companies that step forward and say, we want to support this initiative because it's so important. So I'd like to, if you don't mind, take a minute and let's just thank our sponsors again. And I'll start, Cristofoli Brothers, Twin Bridges Waste and Recycling, Carey Electric, KeyBank, Meyer Law Firm, Equinox Companies, Haler, Freyer and Kuhn, Boucher and Clark Benefits, Capcom, Teal, Becker and Chimani, Capital Bank, Lennox Industries, Gallagher, Colony Mechanical Contractors, Inc., Fenimore Asset Management, BBL Construction, O'Connor, Hazelton Group, Merrill Lynch Wealth Management.
That's only half of them. So we had a lot of folks help us out here. The CA Group, Pioneer Bank Foundation, Godfrey Financial Associates Incorporated, Leverix Technology. We had the CHA Group, Capital Safety Services. We had N&S Supply, Hoffman Car Wash, FW Web, WCGS Architects, RF Peck, MVP, Skyview Landscape Incorporated, CBRE, the Assey Family Advisors, Broadway Auto Clinic. We had the Direct Advisors, Sage Financial Associates. We had Family Dan's Mechanical, LLC, Mazzone Hospitality, WRGB Television, where I work. We also had All Star Wine and Spirits, Capital District Digital, and B95.5. Did we cover them all?
Wow.
It's a long list, isn't it?
That is a huge list. Again, thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you to the members of the honorary committee, everyone who donated auction items, everyone who bought event tickets like yourself. You're the ones who make it all happen. And wine pulls and donated monetarily to the Warmth of Winter. Thank you. Thank you. We can't thank you enough for all your generosity to such a great cause here. As you know, proceeds from this event will go to keeping our seniors warm and helping them defray the cost of their heating bills, which, as we said, this winter have been, I don't know about you, Diane, but I paid the highest bill for National Grid that I've ever paid here so far this winter. So they're very,
We've had
very
a lot
high
of
this year.
calls from seniors needing assistance. Yes, I
And
agree.
so, again, all of this is helping our seniors deal with those expenses.
All right. I'd like to thank Christina Meyer. She's the president of our board, but I want to thank her and her law firm, the Meyer Law Firm, because she actually ended up doing a challenge tonight.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for, on the website, if you're on the auction and you're bidding, the very bottom, there's one, it's called Fund a Senior. And so if you're interested in just monetarily donating to this cause, which we would so incredibly appreciate, for the first $2,000 that we raise through that Fund a Senior, she's willing to match that. So thank you, Christine. That's really incredible.
All right, now let's go back to your tote bags, and we're going to check out a little white bag that you should have got in it. It's called Local Products. And if you have not already done so, please open it up. And the products inside represent some of the many local farmers and producers we help support through our local bounty basket sales, which happen every spring on Mother's Day, as well as the end of the year during the holiday. So we've got like several items in here. Should I get Elizabeth to actually hold these up?
Yeah.
Come on out here, Elizabeth. We'll have you kind of showcase these various things in here, these local products. So show that one. And that's the, which one are you showing here?
Rosemary and maple mix.
Okay.
From Our Daily Eats.
And then this one here is those potato chips. This lady here, you said, has a very interesting story about those potato chips, doesn't she? She kind of grows the potatoes and then actually turns them into
She does.
potatoes. She grows the potatoes and turns them into potato
She
chips.
does. She does. And the
And
final product that's in your bag,
that's
is-
the cheese.
that's it, New York cheddar. Yeah. So we thought it would be fun to kind of share some of these individuals with you this evening. You know, we have so much incredible agriculture and local producers, and we should honor them and we should support them. So we actually took a ride out to the North Fork of Long Island, and we met with Carol Sider, and she's a proprietor with her husband of these wonderful chips. And this is North Fork potato chip. So I'm going to ask, let's take it away, Carol.
Well, Martin Cider Farms has been a potato farm since 1910, when my husband's grandfather bought this farm and this house that we live in and on. My husband's the third Martin Cider to live here. And, you know, it's farming is what farming is. It's you know, some years are great, some years are tough, and Mother Nature and the weather has an awful lot to play with that. Then we were looking for something else to do, add to increase the revenue of the farm. We didn't have the right location for a farm stand, and somebody on Long Island, closer to the city, he was making Long Island potato chips, and he would buy potatoes from us from time to time. And he told my husband he was going to leave that business. So my husband was like, well, you know, let's really think about this, because what do you do with potatoes? You can make potato chips. So we were like, oh yeah, you know, that's really a neat idea and everything. And kind of to this day, I blame him and he blames me, because we jumped in and at times we're way over our heads. What did we know about making potato chips? So we learned trial and error, and you know, had to decide on a name. So we decided on the North Fork potato chips, being that we are on the North Fork of Long Island. Now this is 15 years later, and the North Fork is well known for wineries and vacationers and things like that. So, you know, we were ahead of our time, I guess. But what also we added to our, I don't know what you'd call it, to the farm, Martin decided that which we order sunflower oil, and we cook the chips in sunflower oil. And so why couldn't he grow sunflowers to make the oil? So, all right. So for like 2 years, he planted sunflower oil sunflowers, because their seeds can be pressed into oil. And the first year it didn't happen because there was mold and mildew or a storm, something. But in the evening, in the summer, we'd drive by and there would be like 20 cars parked on the road, people walking through this field and all that. So after 2 years of that, we said, well, wait a minute, let's build trails and let them come, like the Field of Dreams. Build it, they will come, and charge an admission. And they did. The first summer we were open to the public, the cars and the people, it was a little scary because we weren't sure that we could handle all that. And luckily enough, when the police came by, they said, no, you're good. You're all off the roads. You're not on the main roads. You're okay. So kettle cooked is, like I said, always in sunflower oil. We first tested all of them and the different oils. I actually brought them home and did them on my stove, and I did different things. And I found the sunflower oil was the one oil that actually didn't taste like oil. It just let the product come right through, whether it be fish or potatoes or whatever. And that's the choice we made, and that's the commitment we made to do just sunflower oil. And the potatoes we grow are what they call the chipping variety. Not any old potato can make a chip, because some have a little bit too much sugar or starch or water or whatever, and these are specifically for making chips. And then as the year goes on, we harvest the potatoes. Well, he'll start in July just to bring us fresh new ones, but the real harvest season is really September to October, where, and if it's cool enough, they'll go right putting them in the barns for overwinter. Lately, I would say the last few years, there's a little bit of shift with the weather where it's not cool enough to put them in the barns till October. You see a little bit of difference in the seasons now that maybe no one else would notice. But when you have a time frame that gets the job done, you have to be mindful of it. Thank you all very much.
5 seconds.
Is it time for a little wine?
I think it's a great idea.
Here comes our great little hostess tonight, Elizabeth. Let's talk about this wine that some folks may have gotten in their bag here. This particular wine is called Pythagoras.
That's correct.
Yeah, and it's comes from Long Island, from
Just like the potato
Pindar.
chips.
Yeah.
They're actually neighbors. They're a couple miles from one another.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
So, of course, we got to pull this up.
Here.
If I can get it up,
Need help?
maybe.
Okay.
You're probably a little bit more of an expert at that than I am.
I don't know if I want to say I'm an expert at open wine bottles. That doesn't sound good. There
Very
you go.
good.
And we'll speed it along. Pretend that we're having it breathe, right?
Right.
And while he's pouring, if you notice the logo, you would have probably gotten these glasses in your bag as well from Equinox Company. So thank you, Eric King, for your support this evening.
Diane?
Thank you.
So let's toast the event this year to success.
Thank you very, very much.
That's very good.
It is lovely.
And you know what this wine would go good with?
What's that?
The RNG cheese that you got in your bag here. So let's travel to the RNG cheesemakers in Troy with Sean O'Connor.
Hi, my name's Sean O'Connor. I'm the owner of RNG Cheese here in Troy. We've been making handcrafted cheeses here since 2009. We're proud to support the Colony Senior Service Center and their Winter Warmth event. Please enjoy a sample of our reserve cheddar in the basket. Thank you. So this is all goat's milk. We're going to make about 150 pounds of goat cheese. So then what we'll do is we're going to pasteurize that milk. Basically, we're going to bring it up to 145 degrees for 30 minutes, cool it back down to the temperature that we want to make the goat cheese at. Typically, we're at 86 degrees on that. We'll add culture. We'll let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll scoop it into drainage bags, and it'll just slowly drain, and we'll have a soft, fresh goat cheese at the end of that. What Jason's making over here is the beginnings of our truffle cheese. So we've got it down to the curd, and you can see the whey is starting to separate the curd. He's cut it into squares. Now he's going to slowly stir it while cooking it a little bit. We're going to bring it from approximately 100 degrees to 110 degrees. The whey will continue to separate a little bit more. He'll drain that off, and eventually we'll get it into molds and add our truffles to it.
See the curd starting to firm up than when it started. And you can see them already, if I let this go, you can see them starting to sink to the bottom, or all the way. It's kind of already starting to detach itself. Really see it kind of together right there. The important thing is just to make sure that your temperature is consistent and you're not just hitting a hot spot at your, whatever your desired end temperature is. So that's going to sit for a few minutes, and we're going to let all the curd kind of fall down to the bottom. And then what we'll do is we'll take these buckets, drain off the excess whey, and then start cutting our truffles and mold everything after that. So like I said, we're just siphoning off the whey. So if you look in here now, pretty much the whey has gone down. You can see the curds. And what we're still going to do, so you can see kind of how they've come together than when it started, when it just looked like plain old milk. So as you're going down, you still kind of want to stir it because you're still trying to get all that excess whey out, which you're never going to get all of it. And then this whey that we're putting in buckets, it'll go to one of our farmers who gives it to their pigs and things like that. So we try to use everything we possibly can here with minimal waste. You know, what you could also do with this whey, you could also make a ricotta, you know, so you're reusing your whey twice. When you're down to this point, you're just basically trying to make a trench to where the whey can escape. And then what Sean's doing over there is he's cutting up the truffles. And with this, it really doesn't have to be even. It doesn't matter as long as you're creating some sort of escape for the whey, because they're all going to go into molds anyway. And at this point in our careers, we pretty much have a good base on how much cheese to put in each mold, you know, so we've been doing it so long, there's no real like, okay, take 2 scoops out of this and put it in there. It's kind of like second nature. And it's also, in a good way, you know, every batch is different. Like, you're going to have a different yield every batch. There's no standardization here. So if you get a milk, if you have a milk that's a little bit different, you know, get less, a little bit more. Sometimes you get a little grassy, you know, depends on what the animals are eating sometimes. So it just depends on what time of the season. You know, your yield goes up and down depending on the season.
So here we're going to add our truffles to our truffle cheese and mold everything up. These are our truffles I've chopped up. We're adding them in a little layer, our first layer of this cheese. And then we also use a little white truffle oil to give a little extra truffly flavor. A little bit of that in there. Another layer of the curd that Jay did. Another little bit of truffles. Final layer of curd. So you can see that's slowly draining out of the mold. We're going to let this drain overnight. We'll flip it over, then we'll salt it, and within a week or so we'll have our first fresh truffle cheese out of that.
All right, last but not least, I want to bring us all the way back to the town of Colony and introduce you to Paul Barrett, proprietor of Our Daily Eats. Take it away, Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul Barrett with Our Daily Eats, and I want to welcome you and tell you that we're going to be sharing with you a bag of our rosemary maple mix in the Warmth of Winter tote bag this year. The product will be used to help support the services. We've been here and supporting the Colony Senior Services for a number of years. They've been in business almost 18 years at this facility. We do a line of nuts, seeds, and granolas that we sell throughout the United States. And we'd like to say thank you very much for your support for this important event. So let's take a minute, let's go into the kitchen, take a look at what we're cooking today, which is a little bit of granola. So thank you very much, we'll be right back. This product is oats, honey, olive oil, and sea salt. It's a gluten-free product. And so she's weighing out the honey, and then she'll add some olive oil and some sea salt to it. And it gets gluten-free oats, which we buy by the pallet. There's a pallet of gluten-free oats at each table. This is one of the stickiest products we do.
Yes, it does. Because it does go everywhere.
And our biggest challenge is trying to keep the honey from solidifying. We have to get these special fans that we use to heat the buckets. And it takes us, we actually have that green looking box over there with the insulation. We have to build that box and basically put the buckets in there with the heat band and close it up and let it sit for like 2-3 days to get the honey to get to a point where it's liquidy like that and we can work with it. See even our olive oil there, we buy that in drums, and in the wintertime you can see how it kind of gets cloudy like that because it gets cold.
It's been an extremely cold winter here. I feel anyway.
Oh, that's a little bit of warm water. Thicknesses of the oats. This is a really thick roll oat. You can see how it maintains its cut. It doesn't break it up. Sometimes if you look in grocery stores, you look at the granola, you'll see like the oats just look kind of like mash, or as far as like almost pulverized. And these thick oats really do the trick. We're working with a product like this and mixing it with the
We only mix them for 45 seconds so that it doesn't break up the oats and make it mushy. Like you said, the thickness really affects it a lot.
If you let that go for 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh my God, it would be good. Yeah, no, anything pretty much over a minute is really.
We've done our lessons hard.
Yes, yes we have. These trays were just used to make the same product. Normally you'll see them clean like that, but I just made some, so we reuse the trays on the same product, only the same product. Everything we do here, we clean the entire place to make other product. You want it as even as you can so that it cooks evenly.
Brought another woman in. Good job putting her on the spot. She said yes. She said
So basically you're just turning the product over so that once again cooks evenly. It's a much better product, and on the other hand, the quality is definitely what a small company like this relies on. You know, people pay a little extra for this, but they enjoy the quality. We set the magnet over, and it tells us that we are on our second rotation, because when you start doing other things, you can easily forget what rotation you're on different ovens. So this just helps us keep us track where we are. If somebody comes in like Paul and helps, he'll know exactly where I'm at. And then we just do the whole rotation again.
So basically, the bagging machine has 3 stages. So it has it opens the gate, and then it gives you the kind of medium weight, and then you just press the pedal, fills it up, slide it through the machine. It will do about, if you're hustling, you can do about 300 bags an hour. But it basically then seals the bag. This has a 2-sided iron in it with some Teflon bands that rolls through there and basically heats each side of the bag, and then brings you up a sealed bag.
All right, thank you, Paul. And it's a reminder now that this evening's auction is going to close at 9 o'clock. And you can visit the auction by going to www.32auctions.com/wow2022. All right, we got another auction package to talk about. Elizabeth, we need your services again. Oh boy, this looks good, doesn't it? The winner of the auction package will surely appreciate some Irish culture here, complete with an associate level membership to the Irish American Heritage Museum in Albany, along with 2 wonderful coffee table books pertaining to Irish, along with a bottle of this, Fighting 69th Irish Whiskey, and 4-hand painted glass. This is a wine glass by Deborah Murphy from Angelwood Gifts. Pretty nice.
It is. You know, March is like the month everybody wants to be Irish. You should bid on this if you want to impress your friends, even if you're not Irish.
I'll tell you, it certainly looks like something that I wouldn't mind bidding on.
Oh, that's great. You know, I think we should eat some cake.
Dessert?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to
dessert.
twist my arm.
All right.
Elizabeth, what do we have for dessert over here? Oh, check this out.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Shall we?
Yeah, I think we shall.
for
So
you.
thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll let you go ahead first.
Oh, this looks delicious, you guys. Have you had your dessert yet? If not, I suggest you try.
Is that? I'm gonna put a little whipped cream on it.
Really good. It would go good with that red wine that we just had.
It
With
sure
the
would.
cheese and the potato chips and the nuts.
And the whiskey.
And the whiskey. This is great. This is wonderful. What a nice event. You know, good company, great food, wonderful beverages. We are so fortunate that we were able to hold Warmth of Winter, and we are so fortunate to have the support of you, all of you out there. You know, I want to, before we close out, start kind of thanking everybody who really truly needs to be thanked. And I'm going to start with the chair of this wonderful committee, Andrea Crisafulli from Crisafulli Brothers Plumbing and Heating. It is under your leadership that we were able to succeed. So I want to just a personal thank you. Thank you so much. And behind her was an incredible committee. And I'm going to read off the committee members. Jill August, Alicia Kelly, Blanchard Kenny, George Mahoney, Christina Meyer, and Nancy O'Connor. Thank you so much for supporting us and helping us work through that committee work. I also want to thank staff. CSSC, and people might want to debate me, that doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you, we got the best staff in the world. We have had the most dedicated staff who have really pivoted, and we have re-engineered ourselves several times over during the last 2 years during this pandemic. So I want to thank the staff. I want to do a couple of shout outs. Sharon Harold, Mike DiGiuseppe, who's behind the camera here tonight, and Lori Miedema. Thank you so much for your extra help for this event.
All right. Shall we thank our fine sponsors one more time?
We should. All right. So I'm going to start. I'll take the
okay?
one side there. All right. Crisafulli Brothers, Twin Bridges Waste and Recycling, Kerry Electric, KeyBank, Meyer Law Firm, Equinox Companies, Haler, Freyer and Kuhn, Boucher and Clark, Capcom, Teal Becker and Chimani, Capital Bank, Lennox Industries, Gallagher, Colony Mechanical Contractors, Inc., Fenimore Asset Management, BBL Construction, O'Connor Hazelton Group, Merrill Lynch Wealth Management.
All right. That's only half of them. We have the CA Group, the Pioneer Bank Foundation, Godfrey Financial Associates Incorporated. We've got Leverix Technology Incorporated, the CHA Group, Capital Safety Services, NNS Supply, Hoffman Car Wash, FW Web, WCGS Architects. We've got RF Peck and MVP, Skyview Landscapes Incorporated, CBRE, did I get that right?
You did, CBRE, you got it.
We've got Hassey Family Advisors. We've got the Broadway Auto Clinic. We've got Direct Advisors, Sage Financial Associates, Family Dan's Mechanical LLC, Mazzone Hospitality, WRGB, Channel 6. Nice if I get my own place that I work at, right? And the All-Star Wine and Spirits, Capital District Digital, and B95.5. And a couple other final ones here we should thank.
Yeah.
Thanks to Christina Meyer and the Meyer Law Firm for this evening's challenge. Also thanks to our media sponsors, WRGB and B95.5. And thank you to Capital District Digital.
For
And also,
hosting us this night.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kayla and Anthony, who are also behind the camera. Thank you for allowing us to use your space to do this evening. Thank you to Mazzone Hospitality for this fabulous meal. So incredibly appreciative.
and a final reminder that this evening's auction will be closing at 9 o'clock, so you still got more time to do that. And you can visit the auction by going to www.32auctions.com/wow2022.
All right, and I want to thank you, Craig. This has been really an honor to hang out with you for the last hour.
Well, it's been equally as much of an honor to be here with you, Diane, to do this, because not only is it a lot of fun, but I know that it's helping a lot of folks.
It is. It absolutely is. From the onset of this event, we've helped thousands of seniors and have brought in maybe a little shy of about $700,000. So it does go out into this community.
And we know that we did it virtually this year, but next year, if everything goes according to plan, it'll be back in the real live fashion that it has been before.
Now I'm gonna ask, would you join us next year if it's in person?
Of course I will.
Wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. I felt like I was at a disadvantage because there's a green screen behind us and he's got more experience with a green screen.
Well, let's put it this way. I think that we can give you certainly an honorary membership in the Green Screen Club after tonight, so you don't have to worry about it.
All right. Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. So everyone out there, good night.
Thanks for joining us. and have yourself a wonderful 2022.
Stay well. Thank you.